All right, we are here, and the Celtics just made their first trade of the offseason. According to Tom Strania of ESPN, they are trading Jrue Holiday to the Portland Trailblazers in exchange for Anfernee Simons and 2 second-round picks. Kind of out of nowhere, wasn't even on most people's radar. I guess that is just the Brad Stevens way. But Jrue Holiday is going back to Portland, where he never actually played a game and will now play some games, and Anfernee Simons is coming to Boston.
Big surprise. I was about to go to bed. The nerve. I almost wonder if anything else is going to happen tonight. I sure hope not. But yeah, it sucks. It sucks that they had to move Jrue Holiday just for the sake of moving Jrue Holiday. How much money does Anfernee Simons make?
$27 million next year, so it's saving $5 million, which isn't much. So that definitely means more stuff is coming in. I don't love Anfernee Simons. I don't love the type of player he is. The super high scoring, like not really a good defender, kind of a bad defender type of player. Objectively, this is probably pretty good value for Jrue Holiday. 2 second-round picks and a guy who, I mean, I guess it depends on what Anfernee Simons' value is around the league. Like, I don't know if they'll flip him. I don't know if they'll keep him. He's an objectively good basketball player, right? This past season averaged 19.3 points, 2.7 rebounds, 4.8 assists on 43-36 splits. Like, it's not the most efficient, but like he's a good ball handler. He's a solid scorer. Like, who knows what he could look like in the right system as someone who doesn't have to be the guy, because he's never really had that chance in Portland. So it's like good value. I want to see what the second round picks are, and I want to see what else is in store, because right now it's just a little bit weird because there's still around 18 million over the second apron after trading Jrue Holiday, as per Keith Smith. So I need to see what else happens.
So here's the good thing is they didn't have to give up draft capital. Very good.
They got draft capital.
Very happy about that. Exactly. Like, you actually gained from getting off and saving $5 million. I wonder if this is like Yankee swap in The Office, where like they're trying to trade up to get the iPod, where they just keep trying to swap the gifts that they get. I don't know if Anfernee Simons is ever going to play a game for the Celtics. We'll just have to wait and see. Shams is tweeting again. He says
maybe. Shams says an extremely active offseason begins for the Celtics with the trade of Jrue Holiday, who played a critical role in their championship, et cetera, et cetera. Celtics remain engaged in trade talks surrounding multiple key players on the roster. Is there a chance Anfernee Simons never plays for the Celtics? Yes. I would be a little shocked if he doesn't make it to opening day. But I guess who knows? It's just really hard to tell at this point in the offseason.
Yeah. Man, I'm like kind of not shocked, but it's just weird. Like, I guess it's not that weird because how do we fall for it every time where it's like we didn't hear anything about the team that eventually was in the trade? Like, it usually doesn't happen where it's like the Celtics have been talking about this team, they've been talking about this team, they've been talking about this team. And considering that the Mavericks extended Daniel Gafford today and probably wouldn't have made a ton of sense for him to be coming back in the Celtics trade, this is all like starting to add up, if that makes sense. Like, they could have gotten Daniel Gafford. That was one of the mock trades we talked about early in the offseason. We're like, maybe reroute one of the guys to Brooklyn. Turns out, seems like Dallas wants to keep those guys. That's what the Steinline reported tonight.
They partially. That's what one of the sources this Steinline talked to reported. But Daniel Gafford extended at a very specific number, so he could remain trade eligible right now. So like that is the other part of it. So like he still could very well be traded. It's just really unclear at this point.
How old is Simons?
26.
26. He's not as young as people think he is. Wait a minute. What do you mean? Sorry, I'm like reading Twitter at the same time.
What are you looking at?
So Greeny, Oh, okay. So he's remain engaged in trade talks, blah blah blah, and then Greeny says that's fucked. Say who it is. So, all right, I understand now. I was out of the loop. Do you think that this was? I don't think this was like a known thing that it was happening. This Portland trade.
Anfernee Simons? No, I don't think that was a known thing. Clearly not.
What do they do with that?
I mean,
sorry,
listen.
like I don't have like hot takes just yet.
Listen,
I
Anfernee Simons is a fine basketball player. Like I said, I'm not the biggest fan of the not great at defense, high usage scoring guard. But at the same time, like, what does it look like in a situation where he is not the top option and has all of the like pressure on him, right? Is he going to be a great off the ball guy? Is he one of the best six men in the league? Like, for what it's worth, his contract is up after next season. So they traded for an expiring contract. So that is another thing. He makes $27.6 million next season and then is expiring. So they either have to worry about extending him or they have to, trade him this summer or next season, et cetera, et cetera. So I don't know what that decision turns out to be. But that's kind of where they're at, right? Like that is just what the decision is going to be. I'll throw on some Anfernee Simons highlights to keep us entertained if we'd like to look at the
okay.
newest member of the Celtics very briefly here. But it's certainly a weird trade. Yeah, I don't know, man. I don't know. This is every three Anfernee Simons made in the 24-25 season.
All
It
right,
is the
sick.
only like great mixtape I can find. There was another one that was like a minute 30, but I'll put this on just to take a look. So the salaries going out to Boston: Bobby Marks, Anfernee Simons, 25.9, then 27.7, UFA in 2026. Celtics get off the combined 72 million owed to Holiday in this 26, 27, and 27, 28 season. Projected 40 millions in tax savings next year, 18 million below. Or I think this is meant to say above the second apron.
Above, definitely.
Simons is extension eligible, so that's all the context needed, and we can watch some threes too. Like I said, he's objectively a good scorer. It's weird. It's just very weird.
Okay, what's the number that you would extend Simons at?
If I'm like he's probably worth like 25, 30 mil, but I don't think that's great. Like I don't love that, but that's the market for a player like him. This is, put it this way. This is the context. Anfernee Simons was the Magic's dream. This is was their dream before the Desmond Bane trade.
I just don't know what this achieves. Like, you saved $5 million. You still have a lot of work to do. Maybe they're just gonna like try and like downgrade ever so slightly with every guy they trade away. Celtics are getting a 2030 Knicks second rounder and a 2031 Blazers second rounder from Portland in addition to Simons, says Jake Fisher.
I mean, I think what it achieves is I don't like, for what it's worth. I think, obviously, in my opinion, Jrue Holiday is the better player right now. I think more teams around the league would be interested in trading for Anfernee Simons. Actually, I don't even know if that's true, but it's easier to trade for Anfernee Simons, right? Because you don't have to worry about the long-term money of Jrue Holiday. You don't have to worry about a lot of that. He is younger. He is a better scorer, so teams that just want a scorer and a ball handler can like fathom that a little bit. Like, you have to be in a very specific part of your rebuild of your franchise to trade for a guy like Jrue Holiday. If you're an Anfernee Simons, like, you can convince maybe the Pistons if they want another guard who can shoot the ball that they want him. Okay. The Lakers maybe could want him. The Magic, if they want another guard who can handle the ball, like improve their offense. The Heat could want, like, I feel like there's a more diverse selection of teams that could be interested in trading for Anfernee Simons. And at the very least, right, like, you got 2 second-round draft picks, shedded $5 million in salary, and still have a tradable guy.
Yeah. Okay. So this just becomes more of a Porzingis conversation then, where it's not about Porzingis, but the discussion is similar, where it's like, hey, maybe Porzingis is easy to trade because you can talk a team into taking a swing at him. The same could be said for Simons. Okay. That makes a little bit more sense to me. Because I'm still like, just like, I don't really know what this achieves. Like, you still have to save so much money.
Well, Simons is a good player. Like, you have to save good money too, but like, I feel like we're getting lost in that as the main goal, which is still the main goal, 100%. You got a good player back in a trade. Like, you got a legitimate, like, more than rotation piece player, like a starter caliber player back in a deal for Jrue Holiday and 2 second-round picks. So at that point, right, like, as much as trading Jrue or whatever, like, if this is truly a retooling year, like people are worrying about, even though I don't love Anfernee Simons personally, like, objectively a good NBA player, a starter caliber NBA player in most situations. And if the Celtics are retooling to get that and 2 second-round picks back for Jrue Holiday and his contract and get off that long-term money, I get it. Like, I understand it.
Yeah, I mean, if there was no CBA, this would be really cool, in my opinion. But like, you, you still. I'm sorry, like for the listeners, I'm just babbling and like fumbling around. They still have like more like moves to make. Like they have to get under the second apron. And this didn't like. I think if you got like two players in return, it would make it a little bit easier for you because you could like trade one of them and it would cut your return in half and so on. There's no like real consolidation that happens with this.
Well, there's
It's
going to be
just
more. This is not the end. Like we are living in a moment like where it is. This is all we know. This is absolutely not going to be the end all be all of what the Celtics do this summer. But the fact that they were able to get another solid player, probably a positive value player back, and 2 seconds in a trade is a win, right? And until we know what the rest of the offseason looks like it's just hard to know. I mean, shit, Brad Stevens, we spent 4 weeks talking about what could the Celtics do, and not once did we bring up this name. So who knows? Who knows what's going to happen from this point on?
I mean, I don't hate it from like a fitting into the team perspective. I think there's work to be done defensively, of course. But like, I mean, we're watching him make a bunch of threes. He made 200 threes last season. Terp is tweeting out everything. He says career 38.1% 3-point shooter. Does it on a high volume too. There's upside to bringing him in terms of offensive fit. Like, you probably will need a little bit of a scoring punch next year with no Tatum. So I suppose this is the first domino to fall we're slowly finding out what the team is going to look like next year. And I also think this means for the draft that a guard, at least for the moment, is not entirely the biggest needed. Like, it wasn't ever the biggest need, but you could talk yourself into it, depending on what the return was going to be for Holiday. But they got a guy that is clearly, if he stays, going to play rotation minutes and be hopefully a big part of what they do next year. So you're probably not going to see them going crazy to trade up for a guard, or like maybe the Walter Clayton people, like, your dream is dead, sorry. It wouldn't make a whole lot of sense to burn one of their picks on a guard at this point. So, I mean, that's good news for you because you have a couple different wings that you like, and it's good news for me because I have a couple different big guys I like. Yeah, I don't know, man. Like, I'm still not like sure how I overall feel about this. I will say I'm far happier knowing that they didn't have to give anything up besides Jrue to get off of his contract.
I think that's the key. I think the fact that they were able to trade Jrue, get a starter caliber, rotation caliber player back, and get 2 picks back is a win. And from here on out, we just have to trust Brad knows what he's doing and will make the necessary moves to get it done. Shout out Anfernee Simons, newest member of the Celtics. Sorry for pod listeners. This is not going to be in the pod tomorrow. This is your video, and we'll talk about it more in the future. But appreciate you for tuning in. Let us know what you think about Anfernee Simons, and I'll let Sam take it out.
Yeah, thank you very much for listening and watching. This is why you hit the bell. As you listen to the pod in a couple hours, you'll hear me tell you to hit the bell because we might have breaking news. Little did I know it was going to happen at 11:30 on Monday night. But make sure you leave a like and comment. Tell us how you feel about the trade. Maybe explain to me how I should feel. I have no idea. And subscribe because we are here every single day with new content. Full pods drop Tuesday, Thursday, Sunday. Game recaps of the morning after each game. And other videos are here in between to keep you up to date with all things Celtics. You can find us on Spotify and Apple too. All pods and game recaps are up there, so if you just want those, follow. They will go right to your feed. The breaking news stuff will go right to your feed too. That's part of the plan here. And again, leave a 5-star. We would appreciate that very, very much. You can email us, hbtcpod@gmail.com. We're reading your emails every single time we do a podcast, so get them in. You know you have something to say about this trade. It's the perfect time to email, hbtcpod@gmail.com. Our socials are at How About Them C's for Twitter, Instagram, and TikTok. Facebook's the name of the podcast. All streams are there. They're on YouTube. They're on Twitter. Jack's Twitter's at Jack's1NBA. Mine's at Sam LaFrance. That's it for us.
Taco, come on. Taco.